Hope you're having a great day. I wanted to do this video today because I feel like we haven't had one of these chats in a while. I've been uploading a lot of training footage and really voiceovering that, and it's all well and good, and that's pretty easy for me to do just because I just film and record while I'm working out, and it's pretty easy to edit afterwards. But we seem to be lacking some of these conversations on the channel, and I'd like to have more of them. So I'd like to talk today about removing restriction. And not just removing it, but actually the avoidance of restriction in general. So avoiding having restriction set on yourself, basically. I mean, I'd like to talk about restriction that is imposed upon you, and I'd like to talk about restriction that is self-imposed. So I'll give you an example of stuff that's imposed upon you. Let's say you go to school, you're given restrictions there. Let's say you work, your employers, they give you restrictions, and they give you sort of set confined things that you're supposed to work within, be it your department within your workplace, or a set task that you have to do over a duration of a period of time, maybe 6 months or something. It's like you must sit here and stare at this, and work on this. I'll give you larger scale restrictions. So we have school, work, your government, your state, your legislation. These impose restrictions and laws on you. Even more closely than that. So not on a larger scale, but your family. They'll impose restrictions if you're younger, especially. A lot of things, you're going to have a lot of ceilings for that are going to set in place for you. So aside from these things that are imposed upon you, there's also self-imposed restriction, which I find it's actually more prevalent than the former there. So it's more prevalent than stuff that's imposed upon you. It is self-imposed. So basically, if you impose restrictions on yourself, you're creating your own ceilings, your own limitations. You're basically bounding yourself and confining yourself to a small box of what you can and are capable of doing. So what I'd like to talk about today is working inside that box, but expanding yourself outside of it. So let's say you work and you operate within the box, within the restriction, so you abide by the rules, the laws. Your boss tells you to do something, of course you do it. You have a school assignment, of course you do it. Your girlfriend or husband or boyfriend or whatever it may be asks you to do something. Maybe it's restricting, but of course you're going to do it to accommodate. So these things are all fine, and you can operate in this state of restriction. But what I'd like to address in the important part of this video is to infinitely exist outside of the restriction. So to exist with an understanding that your true nature is unrestricted, is unbounded, is limitless and free. But when put into restrictive situations, a lot of people tend to lose sight of this. They tend to think that the restriction is their only realm of existence. They think that their box that they've been placed in, their role, their task, their identity, their title, whatever the frig it may be, they associate entirely with this, develop an egoic identity from it, and then that is them. That's the individual. So there is no life outside the box, basically. So what I'd like to talk about today, and have already started, is managing yourself in a way that you can operate in the confines of a system of restriction, but you truly know in the back of your mind that these restrictions don't define you. These set of rules and these things that you're doing don't define you. So it's more like, I suppose, a confidence building thing in a lot of cases for people, and a lot of people seem to lack confidence in many areas. That could be because they lack knowledge in something, and when they first take on a task, if they're not too well versed in it, they may be a little bit hesitant. So it could be confidence related in that way. A lot of times it comes down to masculine and feminine energies. And if someone possesses much feminine energy and really no masculine energy, so they're feminine, they're only receiving, the masculine is, it's like the big boom right out there, right? So masculine energy imposes restriction, feminine energy is to receive restriction. You're receiving, you're opening to it. So a lot of people possess much feminine energy, but lack the yang, lack the masculine energy to break free of the restriction imposed upon them and to set forth new paths, new goals, and things like that for themselves using the masculine energy. So really, I'd like to challenge anyone watching this video to recognize what I'm speaking of. I'm going to put some links in the description below. I'm going to go out and find some random things you can read up on and sort of continue to delve down this path. Actually, if you check out a lot of the audiobook videos I post, and I actually created a playlist for it in the channel. So if you take a look at those, a lot of those videos talk about managing energies and restriction and things like that. But I'd like to challenge you to focus on your energies, your masculine and feminine, maintaining a balance between the two, one where you're open to receiving, you are the yin energy and you operate within the restriction, but you still possess the strength and power and persistence of the masculine energy to understand that you operate within the feminine, but you exist outside of it. You exist outside of the box. So what this does and what this exercise is going to do is just really hopefully expand and open your mind and really just get you outside of the box thinking. So, I can give you some other examples when it comes to health and fitness because I talk about that a lot on the channel. Some people may think that, they'll watch someone lift some weight and they'll think they'll never be able to achieve something like that. Or, a lot of people tend to put a ceiling on themselves like, oh, I can't get, six-pack abs, or I can't, get down to this goal weight, goal body fat percentage, whatever it may be. They say, oh, genetically I'm not disposed to this. That's a ceiling. That's a ceiling if I've ever seen one myself. You say genetically you can't accomplish something. So based on something that's outside of your control, you're unable to accomplish something that's within your control. Pretty crazy. So I'd like you to work on breaking free of these restrictive thoughts, be it ones that are imposed upon you or ones that are self-imposed. When they're imposed upon you, I'd like you to just step back, review them, and go from there. As long as you step back from these things and don't get too wrapped up in them, it allows you to have this sort of perspective that completely differs from one you may have previously had that keeps you within that confined box. So basically that's it. I feel like I've done a little bit of ranting today and sort of enough for the day. If you'd like me to talk about more types of things like this, topics like this, let me know, comment down below. Again, check out some of those other videos I posted, especially the audiobook ones. I'm going to put some links in the description, and again, I'm going to try and get back on track with having more of these open discussions. And if you have any questions or have any topics you'd like me to talk about, just like message me or comment or visit one of the socials. You see them all on the screen here all the time. Comment down below if you don't mind that stuff being public. If it's like a private thing and you have some questions or you need help with something, just shoot me a message. That's going to be the easiest way. I try to respond very quickly on the Facebook fan page. Some people are like, wow, I can't believe you got back to me so quick. So it really depends. If I'm not doing anything and I see a message, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll reply. But if I'm busy, and then maybe it takes me a bit of time to get back to it. But yeah, definitely reach out if you want some help with anything, and I'm always here. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time. Take it easy.